And that data that's coming from operating on the network, and we've got to be able to accomplish this in real time. Now, I'll say the same thing as we look at operations. How long did it take us to understand what the Russians did in 2016 to the elections? What I will tell you is they were moving a lot faster than we were. We were occupied on an adversary by the name of ISIS. And the Russians were focused on an adversary called the United States of America. And we were operating the cyber domain, both sides. We were linking up with I/O. We were using EW. They didn't have to. And we both created effects. But in this case, we were much slower, I believe, to sense, understand, decide, and act. And we cannot afford to place ourselves in that position in the future, I don't believe. And so we've seen an adversary that is very agile, very capable, very fast. And that's a state actor. And I predict we're going to see more and more of that. And we're going to have to tune our game. And we're going to have to get much, much faster. We've got to put our sensors out in the right place. That's going to be critical. Now, we held a senior leadership conference for the command 2 weeks ago. And Tom Friedman came in and gave us really 2 hours of his time. He was incredibly generous. And he really talked about his last book, and he talked about really kind of the 3 big ideas in that book, which is this acceleration of technology, this acceleration of climate, okay, this acceleration really of the market, and how it's moving faster than many of us can understand it. And he picks 2007 as an inflection point. Because 2007, what did we see? We saw the deployment of the first iPhone. We saw deployment of the Android operating system, the first Android devices. That was a competitive market that drove that. But nonetheless, I mean, can you imagine the deployment of the Kindle? Just as importantly, we saw deployment of GitHub, of Facebook, Amazon Web Services. And so you had this technological revolution that started to outpace our ability to understand and actually deploy it coherently. Now, what else happened in 2007? Well, the Russians attacked a country by the name of Estonia, which was the most wired country in the world. And they were able to wreak havoc. And they did it very, very rapidly. And they followed with Lithuania the following year, with Kyrgyzstan, with Georgia. And in Georgia, it was a combination of kinetic and non-kinetic activities. And they didn't get it just right, but this is what makes them extraordinarily dangerous. They're learning adaptive military. And so they took lessons learned. And I'll tell you, when they rolled into Crimea in February of 2016, it was not a repeat of what happened in Georgia. As we've watched them operate in that region, we've seen them actually synchronize, probably not integrate, but synchronize all aspects of information warfare. So it's intelligence, it's military deception, psychological operations, information operations, cyber, electronic warfare. And they've been able to link that to a very capable fires complex. And so they understand how important it is to control space. And they can do that on the ground by denying the their adversary the ability to use GPS while they preserve their capability to do that. They're able to take information, intelligence gleaned from social media scraping and use that. They're able to do the full range of capabilities that are required to bring all this together. And they don't require a multi-billion-dollar program of record to do it. So they understand what our secret sauce is. And I think it is that network. And the data that resides on it, and the weapon systems that leverage it. And so that's our foundational weapon system. And so they understand the capability that provides. That's one of the lessons they've learned as they've watched us operate from 1991 until the present. And so what they've developed is a strategy to attack it. And the reason I think it is so important to them is because they've made the investment and the capabilities to actually attack our ability to use it. And this is what they want to interrupt, is our ability to accomplish this in all aspects of operations.